Empowering listeners from the US to the UK. Live on air with Stephen Cuoco.
You're listening to Power 98.5, powered by United Angels Dream, your number one resource for public relations, entertainment, and multimedia. Contact them today at unitedangelsdream.com.
Hi, this is Dan Aykroyd. He's progressive. He's beautiful. He's thoughtful. He's intelligent. He's powerful. He's positive. He is Stephen Cuoco on Power 98.5 satellite radio.
Did I do it? There we go.
Empowering listeners from the US to the UK. Live on air with Stephen Cuoco.
All right, let's... You know, I love having fun like this. Who cares? Let everybody see what we really do in radio. Where is it? There we go. My producer had to take off today, so I'm doing everything on my own. To everyone who's joining us today, you are listening to Live on Air with Stephen Cuoco on Power 98.5 satellite radio. All the latest and best and greatest in news, sports, entertainment, film, reality, TV, and more. If you're listening to us on power985.com, the app, Alexa, we should be on Apple Music, which we are, but they're having a big problem over there with their apps crashing, so they need to get that fixed like months ago. But yeah, it's still good. Apple Music, we are on there. You can listen to Power 98.5 live, but why be anywhere else when you can download the app or go to power985.com or put it on your Alexa? You know, we're here. You don't need to be anywhere else. Just log on, load up, and we're here. We've got with us today, I'm very, very honored, producer, writer, Nathaniel Deen. My heart goes with deep passion for you. The connection of the work you're doing is phenomenal. Brave the Dark, we know, is a huge topic that's been in your life for some time now. And you've got other projects that are going on as well. So where do you sit? Like, where do you want to begin? Because I know that you've exhausted media chat about Brave the Dark. We don't need to go too deep into it. I want this to be the meat and potatoes about you in your creative spirit, in your creative heart, in the film and creative spectrum.
Yeah, for me, I just want to tell stories that matter, stories that evoke emotion, stories that are from voices not often heard. Foster kids, those that are underserved, less privileged, I would say. And so Brave the Dark was kind of that launching point. And I started with telling my own story, which is pretty incredible. And it's been super successful. I'm so excited to finally have it out to the world for people to see. And we'll soon be international, which is really cool. But I'm also working on some other projects and some other things that hopefully here in the near future will continue to inspire, uplift, and bring hope to a lot of people in this world.
Did you ever see yourself being a producer, being in film, telling such a narrative that you did?
To be honest, not really. Early on in my career, I was more of a photographer, so it was always through my visual, through my photographs. But I really felt compelled to tell my story. I felt like I'd healed from a lot of hardship and had overcome a lot of things with the help of a teacher. And so I was able to finally decide to tell my story because I felt that it was a great example for people to live by. Man, if this kid can go through what he went through and get over it and is super successful, I wouldn't say super successful, but successful in what he's doing, then they can look to this story as hope and a way to lift themselves up, to know that they can get through whatever they're going through.
What's incredible, I was at the grocery store 2 days ago, and I ran into my aunt and uncle, my Aunt Eileen and my Uncle Joe. And they're part of the family who adopted me. Eileen is my mom's youngest sister. And what was amazing is in that moment, Nathaniel, there were some things that were unsaid that I would have liked to have told my mother before she had passed. There were unsaid things that needed to be said that I wanted my aunt and uncle to know. Just to be very transparent, my uncle went through a bout of a dark place many, many, many decades ago. And he struggled with drinking, and he helped me to move one day. And my aunt had asked me, she said, if you see Joe drink, let me know. And I broke a promise to him because he asked me not to tell my aunt that he was drinking and driving. But I remember from my biological family when the struggles with addiction, especially alcoholism, what I saw in that was, and what was amazing in that conversation, Nathaniel, is I told both of them, and it's incredible because that was like over 20, 25 years ago. And we never had a healing moment from it. We never really talked about it. I held on to that betrayal and that anger for over 2 decades because I thought I was doing something in the best interest, because I did tell my aunt, hey, he was drinking and driving. And I said to him that day in the grocery store that I made that decision not to betray you because I didn't love you. I made that decision because I learned from my biological family what those actions and decisions can do. And I didn't want you to die because that's where I saw you headed. Anyone that is openly going to drink and drive will eventually kill themselves or possibly kill or hurt somebody else. And it was the most powerful heart to heart. I feel weird sharing that for whatever reason, but I guess with your story and where you're at today is we really don't understand how powerful someone can change our lives. And we see things, and with Brave the Dark is when considering your story when you were so young, and then you having this aha, I finally get it years later, and you implemented the love and the support and all of those teachings that your teacher taught you, just, brought back once again in that conversation with Uncle Joe and Aunt Eileen, as though I never understood the impact of what my parents were doing and what they did for me when they adopted me. And in all my struggles and battles and anger and fights, I am who I am today, and it shaped me, but it took 10, 20, 30, 40 years to realize that.
Yeah, healing can take a long time. I experienced so much hardship and trauma that no child at the age of 5 should ever have to experience. But then a fact that a teacher came into my life and he offered me that candy bar and said, here, you look like you need this, that was that planting of the seed of of hope in my life, right? That small act of kindness was so special. I didn't really know it at the time, but man, it didn't take long before I knew that this guy cared about me and wanted the best for me. And you have to push that past behind you. You can't let those regrets stick with you. You have to move forward in a positive light. It doesn't mean you forget them, doesn't mean it's always easy, but you have to move forward in a positive way, because if you let the past hide, it just takes away from your creativity today. I would not be as creative as I am today if I was still carrying all that pain and hurt with me. Forgiving oneself, forgiving others, even when it's really hard, is absolutely important and essential in moving forward.
When you look at yourself in the mirror, Nathaniel, are you impressed? Are you proud? What do you see about who you are today, knowing where you came from?
Great question. I'm actually proud of what I've accomplished and where I'm at. And I don't mean that in an egotistical way, like, oh, look at me, because I don't do that. I pour everything that I learned from this teacher back out to others. I'm giving back. I want other young people who are going through really hardships to find hope, a mentor who can help them. But sometimes I'm surprised that I am where I am, because I always thought, well, I'm never going to make it past 25, you know. My life is so miserable. How am I ever going to get past 25? And here I am in my 50s going, wow, not only have I surpassed my expectations, but I've surpassed a lot of other people's expectations. And people look at me and go, man, I can't believe you are the guy that you are today. And I owe that to a teacher, which is awesome. You know, he's my hero. He's the hero of my story. I'm not even the hero of my own story. But now that he's passed, I'm finding that I need to be a hero for others, even in small ways.
I love that. I love that. And you're going to continue to finding those wonderful golden nuggets and gems about yourself, Nathaniel, as a man, as a human being, as a creator. And I see that in you. And this means a lot to me to sit here with you today. It's remarkable because I'm going to be 51 this Wednesday.
Wow. Happy birthday.
Thank you. And what I appreciate in learning from you and sitting in this moment with you is the joy of where you come from in that, in your own evolution. And I shared with your representative, I said, I would love to see a film festival and for you to come out more towards the Easton, Allentown area to do something with your foundation. I would love for you and encourage you with your foundation, or even what you're doing in your regular business, whether it's nonprofit or your other one or both, is to build some sort of academy, some sort of sharing it forward education with other young filmmakers, because we have college from Rutgers to Penn State. And how amazing would it be for them to come to you and learn about film and storytelling? Yeah. Is that something that's going to be a possibility, that you're going to be able to work with a younger demographic and to be able to help young people to be able to unfold a narrative in context, whether it's of their own or of someone else's, scripted or non-scripted? Is that something possible?
Yeah, we're looking at every opportunity that comes along. We're already doing some mentorships and some film things that I'm working on, where we can find these young men and women in their teens, you know, who might be soon aging out of the foster care system, and we want to get them involved in the arts. That's a huge part of what I do. I love the arts. I believe in the arts. I believe the arts can be healing, and so we want to get kids, you know, that are struggling to get on a film set and learn about how to make a film, because you never know that could become their passion, right? And that could end up being a career for them, an opportunity that they might never get otherwise. So if we're even doing a short film to get these kids, you know, behind the camera, with some expertise that I work with, some other filmmakers who can share how to do audio, how to do sound, video, how to write a script, all of those things, let them do the work. I love that. And then show them their work later. Because I believe in building a community around these young people. That's what the teacher did for me. He helped me at first, but then he handed me off to the community. And it was through the arts. He got me involved in theater. And so you have that theater family that can support and give and pump into you, right? Which is awesome. And that's what we want to do with these kids. Teach them the film, teach them art, teach them theater, and then allow them to grow in it, allow them to feel good about something, feel like they've found a purpose, a worthy thing. And, you know, there's nothing like a young person as you're growing up who hasn't experienced much love or hasn't experienced much hope, to hear other people clapping and applauding for you. And saying, man, great job. What an awesome job you did. A lot of kids don't get to hear that. And so we're very adamant in our mentorship with that. And so we're looking for opportunities. If you know of people that want to do a screening, have me down there talk. Would love to jump in on that, because we're trying to do that across the country. Share the film Brave the Dark, and then do a talk back afterwards. Meet with these young people, and even possibly set up, going to a college, going to a university, going to a film school, and talking and sharing. I certainly don't know everything there is about film. I've done two, and I'm very happy that I've done two, and want to do so many more. But I love passing it off to other people, especially young people.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to put you in contact with Jake Jensen. He's a film producer, director out of LA, and he's also a sports psychologist. So he has decades of working in mental health, and he's at a university in LA.
That's awesome.
So when you just said that, I'm like, I heard Jake Jensen.
Yeah.
Yasi, do you have a question for Nathaniel Deen? Let's see. Anyone else?
Hi, good morning. Yeah, I hope you hear me well. It's raining in Philly, so it might be some disconnections.
Yes, I hear you. Go ahead. Do you have a question for film director Nathaniel Deen?
Oh, yeah. First of all, what an inspiring story. And you kind of answered my questions. You said that you were inspired and you were helped by your teacher. And so the story is about how much, teachers carry the weight and of the students sometimes, and how much like they share their pain and emotion and everything. And my question is there a reason, like my question was actually, is there a reason that the character is called Nate? Is it inspired by you? So you actually kind of answered me before when you were talking. And the other thing was, I was very interested for this conversation because I knew that Damien Harris, he worked on a script based on a work by Martin Amis. So I was really interested to hear this conversation, to know who you are, and that's it. So you answered all my curiosity.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I'm excited to work with Damien Harris and Jared Harris, and the film is on my life. It's my true story. It's my, I didn't have to make things up. The story is 95% real, as much as you can with a film. It happened as you saw it.
Do you have another question at all, Yasi?
No, but it's just that I hope you keep writing and keep making these type of very inspiring and beautiful stories. And thank you for being this much authentic.
Well, thank you. I think I can't take all the credits. It's so important to partner with people who are really good, and in fact, even better than you sometimes. I worked with so many people, and the director, Damien Harris, was incredible in helping to really help me and my friend, John Spencer, who co-wrote the script with me, to make it what you see on the film. It takes a huge crew, the cast, everybody. But we all want to do more, and we're going to. So we look forward to that.
I appreciate that with you, Nathaniel, is because you honored everyone that's part of the project. And what's so amiss today in film and television is people do not truly understand who are the people, the ones that are connecting everything all together, whether it's sound, the gaffer, the assistants, the other assistant directors and producers.
Yep.
People are not educated much into the meat and potatoes of what really goes into putting together a film or television project. And what's so important is when we go into the research and the search aspect of your projects, is you get a better understanding that you're not here trying to be a celebrity. You're not here trying to own the spotlight. You don't have a message that you're trying to prove or browbeat. You just want to if I'm saying this correctly, do I need another sip of coffee? Authentically share a message and share it in a way, just like with Yasi, it offers a question. It offers someone to feel, I want to know more. Let me get on and Google, Yahoo, and Bing it. Now, let me go to their IMDb. Where do you want to expand on your foundation? On anything that you can share openly and publicly about your projects and any other offerings?
Yeah, with the Stan Deen Foundation is super huge in my heart right now. I really want to do so much for young people. Stan helped me, and he helped a lot of other young people in his community. And I want to just take all of that and I want to expand it across the country. Why not? Right? Why can't we partner with other great foundations, find out how we can partner with them? How can we share our story with them? Because Brave the Dark's about so many issues, so many incredible issues. We have domestic violence, addiction, mental health, suicide. There's so many things that we can be sharing with other nonprofits across the country. And that's what we want to do. We want to continue to just help those young people in need. There's almost 500,000 young kids in the foster care system today. And I don't believe it should just be teachers helping our young people. They already have a huge task with just teaching them, but they do so much more than just teaching. But so many more of us can be doing so much more. Right? We all want to be a Stan Deen in our community. That would be the goal for me, is that when people watch the film, they want to be like this guy and say, how can I help? What can I do? And do it for the long term. It's easy to write a check and help, but man, when you can volunteer and you can see these kids growing and learning and you can see the success stories, it's awesome. And in my personal life, outside of the foundation, I'm working on 3 other scripts with a really good friend of mine. 2 are films, and one's like a TV series, which I would really love to pursue. Again, just stories of hope, stories of redemption, stories that inspire, but also show some of the hardships that kids are dealing with in the world today.
That's why I feel it's extremely important, because knowing that you are in Pennsylvania, how much more it's going to be in your best interest, I feel personally and professionally. You need to find ways to bring yourself here to the Lehigh Valley area. There is so much below the surface that I feel that you can and should tap in from people from all walks of life. I mean, whether it's homelessness, young music artists struggling, people who use certain venues and outside spaces in Easton because they have nowhere else to go. There are no bars or clubs or venues that anyone can really get more of an expansion to a reach, unless they're doing a documentary or they're waiting around for the next film festival to submit it to, and if they get picked. Yeah.
Going through the film festival thing is really, really hard, really, really tough. But you just have to keep after it, keep trying. The right ones will pop up for you. But yeah, I'd love to get involved as much as I can, all around. I mean, I don't want to be just in Philadelphia or in Pennsylvania, in Lancaster County. We are trying to bring more films to Central Pennsylvania. Central Pennsylvania is a beautiful state, beautiful area of Pennsylvania, and so we want to bring more films into that area. Working with the film commissions and getting more of a tax credit. That's huge in making these films. Especially for the independent filmmaker, it's really hard. I don't have a studio behind me. We're making these things independently with people who believe in our story and want to tell it. And so if you want to get involved, reach out to me, because independent filmmakers really need all they can to make it happen. We need every connection we can make. So even in Pennsylvania and New Jersey, New York, love it. Love to.
Any closing thoughts before we close out?
Just keep your head up, keep moving forward, right? Life is hard, but don't let it get you down. Look forward, look ahead, don't forget what's behind, but leave it behind. Don't look in that rearview mirror anymore, right? I never gave up. This project, Brave the Dark, took 11 years to get to the screen. And along the way, I had a lot of people say, it's not going to work. Who are you to make a film? Because there's a lot of people out there they call themselves filmmakers and they're trying and they're working hard. And I want to encourage them to keep going, because I'm an example of success. To do a film, to have, as a film, an independent filmmaker is really, really hard. But you can make it happen. You just have to believe in it. Get people who believe in your story and just keep moving forward, always asking, seek help, do the things that get it to the big screen. And that's what I've done. And I want to continue doing that.
Where do you want people or would like our listeners to go to? Website, Instagram? Where's the best place to connect with you and your team?
Yeah, to be honest with you, the best way to connect with me is through the Stan Deen Foundation at standeanfoundation.org. That way you can put in a request for me to speak or share my film with you if you want to, if you have a place or a theater nearby. We can rent that theater out. We can show the film. I can show up and talk about it. You can ask me questions. That's really the best way to get a hold of me right now. On the film end, too busy with things going on. But if you get, we answer every question through the Stan Deen Foundation. So reach out to me there. Would love to connect with you and maybe hopefully partner with you.
I like that. I like that a lot. Is anyone in the audience, does anyone have any questions at all, or we good? I like to check in with Yasi. Just one more. How are you? You're one of my top ones. Anything at all?
No, it's just so inspiring, especially I just wanted to mention that I haven't watched the movie because I'm from Philly. I follow you can find the gems within these indie movies. That's where you find the real gems. And that's how you really can support. So it's not because of that. It's because that's my thing. I always follow the independent cinema, and I love these type of inspiring stories. And this one is really a must watch. Everyone should add it to their list. And thank you again for being this much inspiring. And please keep up.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that so much. And I would encourage people to watch it. I know there are some tough subject matter, but I believe, if you just give it a chance, you'll get through it. You'll see someone succeeding. And the end is so filled with hope and joy and happiness. The tears you will shed will be happy tears, I believe. And such an encouragement to you. And that's what, we set out to do with this film. And so thank you. I appreciate it so much.
All right. Well, Nathaniel, stay with us for a moment. I'm going to close on out. Thank you to everyone who's tuned in to Live on Air with Stephen Cuoco on Power 98.5 Satellite Radio. All this and more. If you happen to miss this live interview, we will re-air it again on Power 98.5, as well as it will be on any one of your favorite podcast platforms: Apple Music, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon, and many more. We always want you to be here first and foremost, so download the Power 98.5 radio app, tune in on Alexa, head on over to power985.com, and if you have a message that you want to send us, click the little icon in the bottom right-hand corner and send that message to us, and we will get it instantly. You can email us at contact@power985.com, whether you have any music suggestions or want any sort of submission that you would like for us to consider. Once again, that's contact@power985.com. Have a great day, everyone. Nathaniel, you want to do a closeout? Say anything?
Thank you all. Have a great week. Enjoy everything that you do.
We appreciate you all.